reasons I love Disney. Of course, one of the main reasons, of course, will be nostalgia. I watched Disney a lot as a kid. I mean, not just the movies from the 90s, which is when I was born, of course, but pretty much any movie from Disney's we could get, like my family could get, I watched. Uh, I mean, I don't know if anybody watching this is going to remember the old VHS tapes, but we had like every Disney movie ever released on those, and I watched them all to death. I think I burnt out quite a few tapes when we had to get another copy of it. Because you can't talk about Disney without talking about their music. I mean, this is one of the defining features of Disney is the music. And I hummed and sung along to a lot of Disney songs. Perhaps too many. All I can say is that I sung Scar's song quite a lot as a kid, and I Can't Wait to Be King. I sung that a lot too. Belle and Ote from Lady and the Tramp I sung a lot too, actually. I really like that song. Disney, why can't you stop making me laugh? They're really good at it, making you laugh. They really are. I think probably, honestly, the characters I laughed at the most were probably Gaston from Beauty and the Beast and Rafiki from The Lion King. Of course, Disney and their comedy. Oh god. They're very creative. That's another reason I like them, because like you can't have like what is it now, 50 animated feature films now, and not have some creativity here or there. But all of their movies are just so creative and so unique. You know, Disney has a unique style and a unique look, and I like it. I love them for that. Speaking of the look and style, the animation in Disney films, honestly, I have to say it's my favorite. I mean, I don't think there's really any animation that compares to a Disney animated feature film. I have to say my favorite animation style animation of Disney would have to be the watercolor animation they used in Lilo and Stitch. I'm a big Lilo and Stitch fan, just to let you know. And Disney has a lot of history, like not just in the films, but they struggled a lot and persevered, and a lot of movies right now that we consider like classics and simply amazing were not very successful in their initial release. The fact that they persevered through that and became what they are today, I really respect that. Though I have never been to one, the Disney parks like Disneyland and Disney World, it's just they created that world that you can go to, and it's like you see all these people dressed up as your favorite Disney characters, you know, and it's like I always wanted to go see Stitch dressed up, you know. I'll have to plan a trip to a Disney World, to a Disney theme park, eventually. And, oh, it's gonna sound weird saying this, but one of my most favorite things in Disney movies is the romance. They're just, well, I don't like certain romances, like most Disney princes and princesses romance. I don't really like that, but I have to say the definitive Disney romance for me would probably have to be Lady and the Tramps, because like, I don't know, I felt like they actually worked at it instead of just like meet one night and fall in love. And I'm not saying that the romance is terrible in Disney films that do that. I'm just saying I prefer that style of Disney romance, but it's still one of the things that draws me into Disney films. Oh, another good example would have to be in The Princess and the Frog. Because they really don't like each other to begin with. I honestly thought me, a big Disney buff that I am, honestly thought they weren't gonna end up together in the end of the film. And Princess of the Frog, they weren't gonna end up together, and it's like, oh yeah, now I can see how they would after so and so through the movie, such a certain point through the movie. Disney has a lot of life lessons in their movies too. I mean, the whole Lion King is basically just one huge life lesson of you can't run away from your problems, you have to face them, uh, redemption and all that. And that's their like really one of their biggest films. Really, everybody praises that movie, and it's basically just one huge life lesson. Disney will never die. At least it won't before I am, before me, because the main reason it continues on to the next generation. Kids now sitting there watching Disney, and it's just like, oh man, I used to watch that as a kid. Way to go, Disney, for sticking around for so long and to continue to stick around. Of course, Disney has a lot of stories, like really fleshed out stories, and sometimes complex, believe it or not. But I love Disney for the stories in their movies and really the background stories of certain characters. I always wanted to know what Tramp's backstory was. Like, what was he doing before all of this? Before the movie? Disney is really good at creating franchises. And I know most people are like, well, what do you mean by franchises? Are you talking about the Disney directed DVD and VHS sequels? And I don't hate the directed DVD and VHS sequels as much as other people. Probably should hate them more, but well, there are certain ones that I can't stand, and I'll eventually talk about them in my reviews. But yeah, I love Disney for franchises, and oh god, toys. Oh, merchandise. So many different types of merchandise. And it means you can just get everything and decorate your room with Disney. I wonder if I should do that. My room is fine as it is. One of the most important reasons to love Disney is because it's family entertainment. Really. There are movies the whole family can sit down and watch them and be like, oh, that was good, that was really interesting. And going back to the franchises, I have to love Disney now because they own Star Wars and Marvel, and those are my two favorite franchises in existence. Well, two of my favorite franchises, yes. Not my favorite. You'll know what my favorite is one day. The TV of my generation on the Disney Channel was my generation and a couple years before I was born. Disney had like this. Everybody likes to talk about the Disney Renaissance, the movies and that, but Disney had a lot of great cartoon shows at that time. Around that time and shortly after it, Gargoyles, DuckTales. Nobody mentioned Bonkers the Cat. That show was terrible. Chippendales Rescue Rangers. I used to sit there with my brother and just watch Chippendale Rescue Rangers all the time. And another reason I love Disney is, although most of the games might not be good, they have video games. They do, in fact. And I've always wanted to try Disney Infinity, but I don't know. It's kind of an iffy thing. Like, should I try it or shouldn't I? I might like it, but I might hate it. Anyways, those are the reasons I love Disney. Thanks for watching.